Onegaishimasu. Welcome back to the Goju Ryu Karate Center. So, not a long video, a relatively short video, but we're going to run through Saifa. Hey, Brian, come. The joy of Saifa is that virtually everything you do in Saifa kata can be explained literally with a bunkai that looks identical to it. So, first bunkai we're going to do for camera. Brian, let's go right side back, and Brian is grabbing onto the hand. I'm stepping up and next to him, grabbing my own hand, breaking free. He punches, I block, and the uraken comes out. Our second bunkai can be started one of two different ways. So either start with the kick or start with the punch. We're going to start with the punch. Right side back, punching to the chest. I move a little bit, I block, and I grab on. He decides to kick with that leg. I catch, and I kick to the groin. If I'm closer, I simply knee to the groin. Okay? And then we get to the pull double punch. Our first one, let's go with, for angle, right side back, punch chudan. I'm going to block, double punch. Aim here, press in the collarbones, pull him down. He's going to try and attack my leg, and I'm going to smash. Okay, next application, he's grabbing onto my shoulder. I'm going to turn towards this hand, and the first hand is going to block and break free. The second hand is going to catch that punch, open, closed, and punch to the throat. Okay, next bunkai, let's go with your right leg back, please, Brian. Brian kicks for the groin. I deflect and hammer fist, grab or grab or grab, and urazuk. All right. The palm strike can be built into it, so we can do the same kind of thing again. Let's go kick maigiri. 1, 2, 3, and push away. And then we can go right side back, and Brian punches chudan, block, haito, pull, twist. Okay, so that's virtually the whole of Saifa's bunkai. Kind of more or less how we do it in our dojo. We've got a couple of slight variations based on grade and age. Okay, but the fun and games of Saifa are the diversity and the variety of ideas that come from what we're doing. So Brian grabs on. Let's go to that first bunkai. A lot of the time, I have to be vigilant of this hand. So the idea of breaking the line and changing. So grab on becomes grab on here. Okay, so 1. This arm comes up, does elbow into the face, goes back. Now we can take down by using stance, and we go down with the stance. So this is very much a bring this arm up and down, a smooth movement. And obviously the idea of he's here, and I'm avoiding that hand. Okay, at all costs. Now I'm out of the way of that hand. I'm not even bait for that hand right now. If anything, Brian might try and swing backwards to me. If I've gone too far, he's going to try and come around that side. But that's the idea behind that. Okay, so again, 1, 2, slightly more advanced idea in that instead of allowing him to grab, blocking and catching and grabbing and seizing immediately. 1, 2. Obviously, uraken. Everybody, uraken. Okay? So, we like utilizing that idea. We can also do it slightly differently. 1, especially if there's a height difference, stepping in, aiming to hit the floating ribs, hit, uraken. And now that uraken really looks super cool. And then my stance, pressing on his thigh, breaking his stability. Okay, so we've got a couple of good ideas there. Block, block. I said we'd start on the punch on the one that we do in our dojo, but when I was a kid, it started with a kick. So right leg back, come, and he kicks 1, and you're going to grab, and now you're on the inside. So either hand punches. So punch, grab, block and grab, step in a knee. Okay. Some ideas that happened over time. Let's use your left leg back, please, Brian. He kicks maigiri, block, and immediately kick. I love this bunkai. It's short, it's sweet, it's simple, and it's devastating. All right, let's go back to the one we just did. So Brian kicks 1, I block, he punches 2, I move into knee kick. Now, I'm going to adjust my grab from this to more this. So I'm lifting his leg. I've got a little bit more control. I'm going to hold on this way. This is both for Brian and for my safety. And then the knee kick, the maigiri still goes out. And then it gets turned into a sotagari. Down he comes. And now we can carry on down the center. So grabbing that very deep lifting movement. I think there is a shotokan kata where towards the end they have a big lift kind of settling movement. And that's kind of like that inspiration for dropping and catching that leg, raising it up, and then once you've got that leg up, you really want to get the person down. You have that advantage, so you make the most of that. The double punch. Brian, please come. One of my dilemmas with pressure point karate is the idea that we often focus that the punch must be on the pecs and you're hitting here. I really, really don't like the idea of aiming for something so small and trying to smash it. However, just above that are the collarbones. I do like the collarbones, and above that is the neck. And the neck obviously is, because it's high mobility, means it is actually kind of weak. So Brian is going to step forward and punch. 1, Chudan, yeah. So block, hammer fist, breaking collarbones. One idea for a different target. I wouldn't try hit the collarbones. I would rather break, press into this triangle. Okay, and we all know about this fancy pressure point in here. You press and the person reacts. But if you're really, really well-developed musculature, well-developed platysma, very little happens. Okay, you look at Brian, take it as much as you can. Nothing happens. I break his collarbone, and then it becomes much more, because that tightening on the platysma means that collarbone is pulling on itself, and it's going to create a lot of pain. That's one idea. Next idea, Brian, double hand grab. 1, 2. Another one of my favorites. A little bit unorthodox. Attacking the neck, hitting in, and aiming for the back of the neck. So my hands are literally wanting to meet somewhere back there. So attack, pull down, and attack. I really like this idea. Then from there, I'm going to use that as my starting point. I'm just going to go down a little wormhole. So Brian, grab on. 1, 2, 3, and now 4. And I'm moving to that hammer fist. He's on the ground. I've done the twist, which is that, and I'm moving to the hammer fist. I really enjoy that kind of stream of bunkai. Next idea, he grabs on my shoulder. Okay, so I do 1, 2, 3, and then I grab his hair. Okay, my hand's there, so I hit, go over his face, affect his vision, grab his hair if he's got hair, or grab the back of his jacket, pull down. A beautiful book I got at a local bookshop that was small, concise, SAS Guide to Self-Defense. And I know there are hundreds of books written about the Special Air Service, but it had this one thing that just has stuck ever since. Where you pull the hair, the body will follow. Literally the case. Once I've got the person down, hammer fist, strike, or if I'm in this position, can be looking for arm bar and a control with the leg. Okay, so if we do that again, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 5, and we carry on fighting. Okay, then the typical bunkais are kick maigiri, block, sweep, hammer fist. This is quite a good one. I'm not great at sweeping, but if you catch the person, they end up falling, which is really cool. My sensei, from my middle portion of my karate years, Sensei Aubrey Petersa, fantastic at this bunkai and fantastic at sweeping. If we did kumite in the dojo, a lot of the time you were looking at the ceiling and wondering, how the heck did you get there? All right, so the sweeping is, there's an art to it. I'm not that great at it. I understand the concept, but this idea of dragging the foot as he's landing. It's fantastic. All right. Not my favorite. Let's go to my next set of bunkais that I really do enjoy. Maigeri, oizuki. All right. So he kicks. I'm going to block down, up, and there's my high toe there. So I'm going to do high toe there. And from there, if I wanted to, we can go to rear naked choke, take down and pull up and try and get him to submit. Okay, so that's one idea. The next idea, the speaker mic might go a bit fuzzy because I'm going to have Brian laying on top of me. So again, Maigeri Oizuki. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going for this. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to do this slowly and in camera. We're going here, laying back, feet on, push down with my legs, and pull and arch my back. Okay, so a little bit more advanced. I like that bunkai. I used to do it a lot. I remember doing it in my 4th dan grading for Saifa. And the sensei who was examining, his eyes went a little bit big because I literally was in the air clinching onto my friend Sensei Mario as we did it. He obviously knew what was more or less coming because we had been drilling it and training it a bit in the dojo. Typical left hand please punch Chidan. Higoonna Sensei, move and strike. Let's do it from the right side. So 1, 2. Hit with this hand, hit with this hand. All right, punch Chudan. 1, hands come together, so pull, twist, break. 1, if the hand is on top, right on right, shaking hand, you're going to get an arm bar. All right, and again, like Sensei Chinen, over, sit, break. I remember him always making us do a little jump. I'm going to just go, Brian, come forward a bit. There we go. Going to go down to Sensei Chinen wormhole. Hand on the floor, drop, foot in face, and again, arm bar, thumb on top, lift. Punch 1. This way around. 1, 2, step behind, turn. Now we've got that arm bar against the leg. So press. If we want to go down to the floor and we start looking for figures of 4 type of attack. Obviously my dilemma, I'm fighting here, that hand gonna hit me, punch, yeah. And if you're not up to speed as a grappler and knowing where you're gonna go, you're gonna be slotted with that hand. So there are obviously better options here. But the idea of taking the person down with this, I like to add the twist in. If I'm standing here and receiving, it can be devastating. If I can go here, this is better. Go here, and then there. And you can see how much whip I create. Okay, that is it for Saifa Bunkai. I hope you enjoyed it. Rather short video clip, but remember always, do what your sensei says, have an open mind, enjoy what we're doing, use it to refill your cup, to get some inspiration. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Thank you very much. Arigatou gozaimasu. Sayonara.